Are sellers in trouble? Let's take a look at some data and information. Late rent payments climb as renters struggle to keep up. What enticed me to look this up is I know someone that manages multiple complexes, apartment complexes in the greater Salt Lake area, and they're a regional manager. They told me that they're having a hard time renting out their apartment units, offering a lot of incentives, not being able to fill those vacancies still, and that they have people who are not paying rent. And that's what had me go and research, and that is something that's happening nationwide. Now, that is something we're going to have to keep an eye out on. And of course, as it's unfolding, I'll keep you updated. Now, I have some more stuff here to share, so you want to pay attention here. Of course, we went over this. Mortgage delinquencies are exploding. So it's one of the fastest consumer debt that is seeing delinquencies happening right now. And of course, there is a credit deterioration cycle where your average consumer out there just isn't in good credit standing, which is why we're seeing these slowdowns as people are not able to qualify for a car, for a mortgage, because their credit scores have taken a hit lately. Now, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. Nobody's got your back like Dinko the Realtor. And when you do need a real estate agent in Utah, my contact information is down below. Free consultation. Let's see if we're a good fit for one another. Now, I have a lot to share here, and I have an announcement to make. Right here, we see end of the student loan reporting delinquencies are resumed and approximately 2 million auto loans. I've shared this multiple times, but check this big kicker out right here. BNL, Buy Now, Pay Later tracker, 45% of users late in the past year more using loans for groceries. Right here, 41% of users Buy Now, Pay Later loans say that they've paid late on one of them in the past year, up from 34% a year ago. Now that's actually crazy, is that we were at 34%. And remember, the Biden administration was actually going to start regulating the buy now, pay later like a credit card company is. And Trump has pulled some of that back. So is it 41%? Is it higher? They don't report the same way the credit cards report, and it doesn't impact the credit score the same way. And if we take a look at this right here, nearly 1 in 4 of the buy now, pay later users, so 23% say that they've had 3 or more active buy now, pay later loans at one time. And right here, 40% say they've never had more than one at a time. So you're seeing that a lot of people are using this with multiple different purchases. And right here, more users buy groceries with buy now, pay later. 25% of users say they've used the loan to buy groceries. Now that is wild, up from 14% a year ago. We are now living in a day and age where people have to buy groceries with a buy now, pay later. And if this buy now, pay later, this just easy to get credit wasn't available, what would the economy look like? And if we do see a recession, let's say a severe recession, how is this going to be impacting these buy now, pay later companies when they're losing money now? What would happen when things really spiral out of control? So that's definitely something we have to keep an eye out on. And now another thing here, that under contract pending home sales is continuing to decrease. So it is something that is a trend. I'm going to show you that on the graph. Now, before I show you the graph and give you a little bit more analysis here, I'm having my annual Halloween event on October 18th. I'm going to put that down below in the description, in the comment. I would love to see you there. There's going to be a magician, a photo booth, a trunk competition if you want to participate. There's going to, like I said, the magician is going to be there. So if you don't want to take part in the trunk competition, you don't have to, but there are going to be prizes. And if you want to participate in the trunk competition, reach out to me. You'll get an automatic $25 Amazon gift card once you show up there. And then of course, you're going to be able to win some big prizes. There's going to be ice cream there, hot chocolate. There's going to be cinnamon rolls. Like I said, photo booth, magician. It's going to be a great time. I'd love to see you there. Now, we see that these under contracts are decreasing still. Now, it is showing up finally in this graph. So this graph that you take a look, you see we started the year zigzagging and we had less sales year over year. And then in April, we started having more under contracts, not sales. We had less under contracts at the beginning of the year. And then as the year progressed into April and the summer months, we see that we had more under contracts than a year ago. However, that is now transitioning negative again here, and that is happening as inventory is building up. So this blue-purple line at the top, you see that inventory is much more elevated than in the years past, and it is now starting to tick up here to the right top, and that is something that we have to keep an eye out on again, because listings, the amount of new homes coming to the market is elevated still every single month, year over year. And the under contracts now are going negative, which should help inventory continuing to climb year over year. And another thing to keep in mind or an eye on is what's going on with mortgages. Take a look at this right here, the mortgage rates. Let me just remove myself. If you take a look right here, you're seeing that we were dropping down. And as the Fed did their rate cut, interest rates have just skyrocketed up. This essentially means that it doesn't matter if the Fed does their rate cut or not, interest rates are not coming down. It's almost counterintuitive, and it's worse for the Fed to do that because, well, it just helps the banks and not the consumers. And now if we go back, let's just go back to the to October or August of 2024. And if you take a look here, oh, it's not wanting to do it, guys. It is not wanting to do it. Here we go. All right. If you take a look right here, rates were coming down. The Fed did the rate cut, and look what has happened right here. Now, you tell me, if this happens, if interest rates are not coming down, is that bad news or good news for sellers? Now, if people are late on their rent payments and are struggling to keep up, and we are seeing more and more incentives that these apartment complexes are offering just to incentivize people to come over. Now, if they get more competitive, is that going to prevent buyers from entering the housing market saying, wow, I can get such a better deal to rent, maybe I'll go rent instead of buying. So that is something that we have to keep an eye out on right here. Of course, these mortgage delinquencies, and of course, the credit deterioration cycle that's starting. And right here, we see that 2 million people just at the beginning of the year had their credit scores impacted that had car loans, and that's just from the student loans resuming. Then we see that the buy now, pay later, 41% of users late in the past year. I mean, that's astonishing. And we're seeing that 20-something% are using it for groceries. Right here, we're seeing that under contracts are negative year over year. And we're seeing that the interest rates are not going down. They're doing a U-turn now, which is not good news for sellers. So I would love to hear your comment down below of what you think. Are sellers in trouble? Are we going to see a rebound here at the beginning of the next year? Or with this inventory building up and with all the sellers that are waiting for next year, and is the economy going to deteriorate? Are we going to see more and more unemployment? And yeah, we have the government shutdown. That's not really adding to the 10-year dropping, and we're not seeing interest rates dropping really as they were predicting that it would. So we're going to have to see what happens there. But as soon as the government resumes back to work, interest rates, the 10-year will go back up. So we could see a potential small drop because of those government shutdowns. And then, of course, when you do need a real estate agent, my contact information is down below. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and that Halloween trunk or treat event, my annual one, is October 18th. I'll put that down below in the description. You don't have to participate in the trunk competition if you don't want to. If you do, you'll get a $25 Amazon gift card once you show up. Just let me know that you're going to be participating, so I'll have one for you. The magician's going to be there, the photo booth, cinnamon rolls, ice cream, hot chocolate, bounce house. It is going to be a great time, and I would love to see you there.